on the stat sheet really stood out other than that shooting percentage disparity, and he said for them, their fast break points, and again, it's because we were missing shots, they were running out and converting in transition. Mike?
All right, Lisa, once again we saw Phil Johnson there as all the coaches have that pin on their lapel. His Collins shot will go that says CD, the initials for Chuck Daly, the Hall of Fame coach who continues his battle with cancer, and as we've been doing for weeks now, we just send our best wishes to Chuck, who's down at Florida Hospital trying to battle. And everybody thinking about you, Chuck. Ariza throws it away. And there you see all the coaches, the NBA Coaches Association dedicating the playoffs to one of the all-time great coaches. Brewer. Boy, you hear Kobe Bryant over here at midcourt. You hear him yelling, communicating about switching and moving. Boozer able to put that in.
That's a making of a good defense. I'm just discouraged when I pay attention to the comments made by the Jazz. You have a team that shot 65% from the field against you. That's the main problem. You're not getting stopped. This is a poor defensive team, and I don't think they're talking enough about it.
Bryant trying to draw the foul. He thought he was hit. Now, this has been the problem with Utah all year. Again, they win 48 games. Pretty good for an 8 seed. But their defense has been so inconsistent. Bynum the rebound.
See, right there is the value of Okur. When Darren Williams draws 2 defenders, that's Okur spotting up with a 3-point shot. Jason Collins, that's just not his game.
Ahmed Okur, if you're just tuning in, missing this one with the hamstring injury. He's their second leading scorer.
I mean, this is great penetration, attracts Bynum to him. Very good pocket bounce pass. That's a good shot. You got to take that open shot if you're Collins, but that's just not your game.
Collins, well short, gets it back again. I believe the ball was deflected so he could get it. They could use Korver to get on fire and knocks down the 3.
You know, one of the things you talk about when you take a look at that replay with Collins shooting a jump shot, there's not a Laker running out at him also, so you're able to defensive rebound because you're not worried about him shooting that jump shot. You're willing to give that look to him.
Bynum. And Bynum called for travel. All right, you guys have seen Bynum obviously today and last couple of games. Where is he at, Mark?
Well, talking to him before the game, he says, hey, I'm 100%, but no way you sit out that long and you're 100% this quick. But he understands how he has to be effective for this Los Angeles Lakers team, so he is 100% in their concept.
Boozer knocks down another. So 7 straight points by the Jazz, and they've got themselves back within 15. Ariza. Brewer gets up on Kobe. 6 on the shot clock. Gasol back out Fisher. Little ball fake for Fisher, the runner in the paint, and an offensive foul on Fisher. Collins draws his second charge, and that's the 3rd personal on Derek Fisher.
And that's good defense. Kyle Korver runs Fisher off of the spot, and then Collins steps in, takes the charge. Bill getting stops one at a time.
Williams looking. Throws it into Collins. Collins up, blocked but fouled. And Collins will go to the free throw line.
Collins and his brother are as good a help defenders as any bigs in this league. They'll sacrifice their body, an intelligent approach to defense. And that's his game. Unfortunately, he doesn't have as much of a game down here at the offensive end, but he's a very good team defender.
Didn't play a heck of a lot this year. This is only his 4th start. His brother Jason played so many years with New Jersey, now from Minnesota. You guys, great pair at Stanford. 13-point game, 9 straight points for Utah.
Stanford must target twins when they recruit. They had the Collins twins, and then they had the Lopez twins.
Here comes Williams, kicks it out, Korver, that's a 3, won't go. Fight for the rebound, Bryant. Ariza out of the pack, Bryant throws it too high, but Ariza able to catch it. Pass inside to Bynum, and he's hit. So Bynum will go to the free throw line. Andrew Bynum missing the 32 games with the right knee injury. Second straight year with an injury. This one obviously not as serious. And he is so happy to be playing. And a technical foul called on Kobe Bryant. He was arguing with Eddie Malloy. He was upset on a couple of plays earlier where he thought he was hit. So Carver will shoot the technical. And then Bynum will finish up down the other end. Our NBA calendar. Tonight on TNT, they get their coverage going. Philadelphia at Orlando, that's at 5:30 Eastern. Then Miami and Atlanta at 8. And New Orleans at Denver. A tripleheader Tuesday on NBA TV. It's game 2, Houston at Portland. And Friday on ESPN and ESPN2, Cleveland at Detroit, Portland at Houston, and Orlando at Philly. Games every night. Best time of the year. Collins. Ariza, good ball denial on Korver. Lakers playing a little physical. Williams trying to draw the foul. He does that very well. There wasn't a lot of contact, and he's a strong guy. He knows how to fall on those. That's 4 on Bynum.
That foul should have been on Fisher versus on Bynum.
So for the Lakers, that's their 3rd team foul. Lakers a little sloppy to start the 3rd. Korver, the fake. Boozer can't get it to go. Collins kept it alive, but here comes Fisher.
That was good offense there by Utah. Very good unselfishness by Korver.
Fisher off the dribble, puts it in. This is his 2nd field goal. We talk so much about great Lakers in the playoffs. Fisher's hit a lot of big postseason shots for the Lakers over the years. Williams to the basket, won't go. Collins right there. Collins very active, 4 points, 6 rebounds.
You almost get the feeling that Kobe Bryant is just waiting to take over this ball game. So if you're the Lakers, you have a strong sense of security.
Missed the shot, drew the foul. Brewer picks up his 2nd.
He understands, okay, it's time to stop the bleeding. Get to the sweet spot. Quality possession, gets to the post, goes away from the double team, draws the contact from Brewer.
You mentioned with Kobe and how he waits to take over games. Earlier this season, he made an analogy in how he approaches a season and sometimes games like the Tour de France. He says, I'm not going to sprint up the hill every time. Sometimes I let my teammates pull me up and wait for a time in the race to pick it up. He loves the analogies on other sports. He's a big fan of other sports. Like when he was with the United States in the Olympics in Beijing, he tried to go to all the different sports.
I like the way he said, hey, I don't have to win every stage. At the end, I want to be the one holding up the trophy.
It's a yellow jersey.
Boozer puts it in.
Come on.
Hold on, it's a yellow jersey.
If you're going to make the analogy, know the sport.
No.
Right?
The sport for Kobe Bryant is basketball. He's going to hold the trophy up at the end of the day.
Oh, so you switched back to a basketball.
Yeah, it was a remix. Come on, man.
He said that with such disgust, too.
Yeah. Do we have issues? I mean, you've been on me for a while now, man.
Alley-oop. And Collins able to get it. Gasol couldn't get his fingertips on it. Korver on the drive, finding Boozer. Back up top, Williams. Brewer inside. The adjustment. Still can't get it to go, and the Lakers come the other way. Ariza running the floor. Bobbled it. Still put it in and drew the foul. Trevor Ariza having a huge game. He's actually the Lakers' leading scorer.
The guy plays to his strength. Excellent defender and a slasher finisher in transition in the half-court set. Does a good job. Derek Fisher does a good job giving it to him where he just catches it, attacks the rim, gets the basket and the foul.
He broke his foot last year in the tail end of the season, missed the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. This year he's been one of the better 6 men. He does some starting as well. Darren Williams trying to find an opening. Boozer, nice pass inside Collins, and Collins is hit once again. Gasol trying to make his point with Derek Stafford.
Good offensive sequence by Utah, multiple passes, and that is what you're always trying to convince your players to do. Give up a good shot to get a great shot. Right there, Carlos Boozer did exactly that.
So Collins, who took all of 11 free throws the entire regular season, is now taking 4 here in this quarter, and we're going to have a timeout. Phil Jackson perhaps not happy with his team's play here to start the third. They had built a 22-point lead at halftime, a little sloppy here in the third. It's a 15-point game.
Playoffs on ABC, brought to you by Microsoft, Chili's, pepper in some fun, and Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, starring Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner. In theaters everywhere May 1st.
Today's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Get there on the cushion of Goodyear Comfort Tread technology. Here at the Staples Center, we've got the #1 seed in the West in action. Lakers leading the Jazz. Meanwhile, the Eastern Conference, #1 seed Cleveland. No problems with Detroit yesterday. Of course, Chicago with the upset, beating the Celtics in Boston. And the other 2 series will start later on tonight. Those games on TNT. Atlanta, Miami. That's going to be a fun series.
That's going to be a lot of fun, especially talking about how do you shut down Dwayne Wade and his ability to get everybody involved. I think in both conferences, East and West, other than the 1-8, there are no upsets. Any team has to feel like they're more than capable of winning the series.
Even that Orlando-Philly?
It's not an upset if Philadelphia beats the Orlando Magic.
Sure it is.
I agree. There's more parity than the records would indicate, particularly when you factor in the injury situation for Boston and the injury situation for Orlando.
Right. Well, Turkoglu, of course, banged up, but they won 59 games. Now, are you going to be able to, can you watch your brother's games, or is it the matter where you just can't watch it?
I'm just glad I'm flying during their game today. I'll get the answer when I land.
Collins being guarded by Bryant. Kobe Bryant just a little too physical, so he picks up his second foul.
I really like how aggressive Collins is to start this half. I mean, this is a different Collins than we saw in the first quarter. Setting the tone totally different, and he's really affected his team's play in this third quarter.
Well, if they're going to disregard you, you have to be aggressive and look to score the ball. You cannot have guys in the playoffs that are offensive options.
My wife said the same thing. If you guys are going to disregard me, I have to be aggressive. She prepared me for this game.
Good job by Dez. Foul away from the ball. Collins and Gasol getting a little extra aggressive. Collins picks up his second. Not the penalty yet. That's number 4. Collins will sit down now. Millsap back in.
And I thought Jarron Collins, forgive me, I thought he gave him quality minutes. I'm sort of surprised to get the quick snap.
Ball deflected by Brewer, gets to Kobe. 5 on the shot clock. And Bryant with the turnover. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the third. Jazz trying to get themselves back in the game. Here's Williams. Well, there's some nasty screens being set out there. Dangerous pass, 3 on the shot clock. Brewer has to drive. Brewer has to put it up. And he draws the foul. Trevor Ariza upset with the call as the shot clock expired.
On that, to me, I thought he was lean. And you got to learn to pull your hands back and make guys make those shots. And you always have to try to convince players. you can't foul jump shooters or appear to foul jump shooters.
That's not a foul. I don't care how you want to remix it. That's not a foul. Brewer takes it to the body of Ariza. That's a no call.
I agree with you. But to me, you also have to avoid the appearance of fouling and pulling your hands back. I'm not trying to say that was a foul. You know? Foul.
There's a foul on Korver. Meanwhile, the Jazz getting themselves back in position because they're getting to the free throw line. They only took 7 free throws in the first half. They have 9 here in the third quarter already. And
in the last game versus LA on Tuesday, they shot 45 free throws here. So they have a knack through aggressive offense, post-ups, cutting, good screens, of finding their way to the free throw line.
Fisher hits the first. Log on to NBA.com now for the most extensive playoff coverage and in-depth highlights of today's Jazz-Lakers game. Up-to-date scores, stats, schedules, all about the postseason. NBA.com. The game happens here. And two of the winningest coaches in NBA history. In terms of regular season wins, Jerry Sloan is 4th, Phil Jackson 6th. In playoffs, Phil Jackson's number 1 all-time, and Sloan is 6th. Bryant with the steal. Brewer hurt his hand. Bryant to Odom running the floor and tried to pass. You got Odom and Gasol, 2 big men who have such a great ability to pass.
And run the floor. And that is a luxury to have big guys able to do both of those things. It puts so much pressure on transition defense.
Kyle Korver can't get it to go. Brewer the rebound. Williams has not shot the ball well. Just 3 of 10. Nice feed inside. And the finish from Millsap. And it's back to 11.
And Williams cannot be just a guy playing catch with his teammates. He has to look to make plays for himself and everybody else on the floor.
He's their leading scorer at 19.5 per game. He has 11 assists in the game. Odom to Gasol. Big height advantage. Help defense from Korver. And ripped down by Boozer. Jazz slowly inching their way back in. Williams to Boozer. Boozer's jump shot puts it in, and it's single digits after being 22 at half.
But that's exactly what we're talking about. That's not set offense. That's just Darren Williams being Darren Williams. He creates that shot for Carlos Boozer.
Phil Jackson not calling timeout. Gasol backs in, backs it in. 12 for Gasol. Jazz have a little bit of a strut to them now. It was not there in the first half. Bad pass from Boozer. Ariza ahead of the pack. Ariza reverse slam! An explosive game for Trevor Ariza. Playoff career high 17. It's the crowd all fired up as well. The lead back up to 13. Williams to Millsap.
If I lived in a 4-hour radius of Salt Lake, I'd buy season tickets. I love watching this guy play basketball. He's in the lane the whole game.
We'll have a timeout. Trevor Ariza has found a place here in Los Angeles.
Well, that's just a poor decision by Boozer. And then Ariza. Now that's an athlete right there.
Ariza started his career with the Knicks, then Orlando, and now a big part of the rotation for Phil Jackson's Lakers.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Kobe Bryant, unselfish play. Ariza, step into your shot the same way you do every day in practice. Be ready. I will find you. In transition, nobody there, you pay the price. And that's active on the defensive end. One-on-one, Carlos Boozer uses the rim as a shield. Guess what? There's a reason why Boozer didn't jump. Oh, gee.
I got to give you that. That's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you see his regular season numbers. Last year in the playoffs, he had 17 total playoff points. He's got 17 here in Game 1 of this year's postseason. And he's really a strong defensive player, but he's really worked on his outside shot. His three-point shooting is better. Very quiet, humble young man. Played his college ball at UCLA and took a lot of grief after leaving UCLA after 1 year. A lot of people said he was nuts out of his mind. The Knicks picked him in the second round, and he went to Orlando briefly. You know, he's an asthmatic guy with so much energy. But he uses treatment and still able to play despite having asthma. Williams, 5 on the shot clock. Good defense from Odom. Nice pass. He never panics down the stretch of those type of plays.
A guy plays with such great bounce. I mean, he is tough to defend. Incredible.
Speaking of incredible, Brewer right on Kobe Bryant. Tactical foul call.
Once again, Lamar Odom and Matt Harpern getting in. Odom picks up the technical foul.
So that's the second. Kobe Bryant had one earlier. Jerry Sloan had one for the Jazz.
I'm not seeing that.
I mean, those two have been pushing and shoving each other a little extra, unless he kept warning him. But I agree, Jeff.
And there goes my you can't trust free throw shooting stats because Kyle Korver misses a technical free throw. It's harder. I told you guys that.
He's 88%.
You talked about it yesterday, and Mo Williams is 58 for 62 shooting technicals on the year. That's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's 0 for 1 in playoffs. It's a new season.
Boozer can't finish as Gasol hit him. Even when his theories are wrong, he says them so authoritatively that you almost believe them.
Yeah, you're in the car thinking, am I wrong? Or, what's the story?
Oh, it is about how you sell.
Boozer gets that one to go, and it's back to 11. By the way, Kobe Bryant with his 17 today, now in third place on career Laker playoff points, passing the great Magic Johnson. Got a ways to go. It's Jerry West, and Kareem, of course, is behind the Laker bench. Andrew Bynum telling you earlier, Mark, about how Kareem has been such a huge help to him. Bynum says he's even reading some of Kareem's books.
Really gave a lot of credit to the captain and the way that he has spent time tutoring him on how to be most effective.
Shannon Brown puts it in. How about Brown? 3 for 3 from the field. All three-pointers. Didn't play a heck of a lot after being obtained from Charlotte back in February, but getting big, important minutes here this afternoon as Boozer got hit.
Well, what was considered a salary dump by the Lakers just to get out of Radmanovic's contract has turned into a fine for them. Shannon Brown, last few games of the regular season, and here today, has fit in very well as Joey Crawford defends the free throw as well as I've seen it defended. That's the type of closeout that the Jazz have to do on the three-point shot. Nice closeout, Joey.
Boozer back to the line. By the way, Brown was obtained along with Adam Morrison for Vladimir Radmanovic. That's the salary dump you talked about. The Lakers felt they did not need Radmanovic. Had some other players step up. Here's Joey Crawford now.
Oh, yes, Joey. No, hey, listen, I think Joey's probably right. In his 60s or close, that's a heck of a closeout. And an unusual smile by Joey Crawford on the court. He was happy with that athleticism.
You know, Crawford and Eddie Malloy, one of the other officials, are both from the same high school.
Same year?
No, Cardinal O'Hara, as is Mike Callan. 3 NBA refs from the same high school.
I bet you Joey Crawford's kids are older than Ed Malloy.
Joey's in his 32nd year officiating NBA basketball. Josh Powell, first minutes, first shot, first points.
shows you how deep the Lakers are. Here's a guy that had a very solid regular season for the Lakers, replacing Ronnie Turioff, and he steps in rhythm, knocks down the Jet.
Stepped out of bounds, Brewer. Brewer not happy. That's the 10th turnover for Utah. 3-second difference, shot clock, game clock.
And expect to see a pretty much isolation with Bryant. Surround the floor with shooters. Basically going to tell the Jazz, pick your points.
Bryant looking. And a foul call on Brewer. And that one hurts with 8.4 remaining. They're in the penalty. 3 fouls on Brewer.
That's a foul.
I don't even understand why would you discuss it with the referee? Your job is to fight over the screen, not grab the screener. I mean, it's an obvious call.
So Josh Powell to the line, knocks down the first. It's his first year with the Lakers. Powell's bounced around the NBA out of North Carolina State for 5 different teams, including Dallas, Indiana, Golden State last year with the Clippers. He's also played in Russia and Italy. He's done a nice job when he's been called upon.
For the Lakers right now, you want to run back and make sure you secure Darren Williams' ability to make a play.
Korver ahead to Harper. Harper inside the Boozer on the finish with 2.7 remaining. Bryant from 3/4 court. It's up. And that will end the third quarter. Jazz got back in the game a little bit, but Trevor Ariza made sure not too far or not too close. Trevor Ariza got the start here this afternoon for the Lakers. Ariza in his second year with the Lakers. Young man who went to Westchester High School in Los Angeles, college at UCLA in Los Angeles, and now playing for the Lakers. This presentation of the NBA playoffs on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to Staples Center. I'm with Lakers head coach Phil Jackson. Phil, you guys are still up by 13, but I heard you getting on your guys about their defense in that third quarter. What was going on there?
Well, how you've grown. I'm really surprised how you've grown in this last week.
Like I said, trying to be thoughtful, trying to make sure you can hear me.
We're behind this whole quarter. You know, you go in the locker room, you tell them the first 5 minutes are the most important part of this quarter. And these guys just didn't come out and think about what they were trying to do. They went through the motions and tried to do everything individually instead of run.
On the other hand, Trevor Ariza, 17 points already. It's a playoff career high for him. What's been the key to his success so far this afternoon?
Well, he's been hitting the shots. I mean, if they're going to pack it in on Kobe or the bigs, these guys have to hit shots, and he's hit them.
All right, thanks for your time. Mike?
All right, Lisa, he has hit the shot 7 of 9, but the Jazz started finally hitting some shots. They scored 33 points in the third quarter after just 40 in the first half. Vujacic misses. Rebound, knocked loose, picked up by Brown. Jaylen Brown has played almost 16 minutes. His prior playoff experience, 1 minute with Cleveland a couple of years ago. Alley-oop pass to Bynum. Bynum inside, gathers himself, puts it up, shot, rolls off. Odom right there to clean it up.
Love the energy by Lamar Odom, keeping 2 shots alive. Offensive rebound, that one an easy putback.
And C.J. Miles has got to get in the fray down there on the board. He wasn't doing what you talked about Derek Fisher doing earlier, which is putting his body on the bigger Odom.
Here's Harper, finds Millsap, blocked the foul. Millsap goes right at Bynum, who commits his 5th personal.
And that's the presence of Andrew Bynum. 5 fouls, but they're meaningful fouls. If he's not here, that's a dunk for Millsap in the lane for the Lakers. This is a good job. Just use your length and athleticism. Understand what your job is. No easy shot attempts while I'm on the floor.
Millsap just a tough guy at 6'8". Born in Monroe, Louisiana. Had a great college career at Louisiana Tech. Led the nation in rebounding 3 consecutive years as Bynum sits down with the 5 fouls. And then was a 2nd-round pick of the Jazz. Big football player when he was a kid. Didn't play basketball until middle of high school. He's going to get a lot of money this summer.
And you think about it, it's one thing that translates from any level, which is rebounding. If you are the leading rebounder 3 straight years in college, you're going to be able to rebound in the NBA.
Gasol spins, misses, and Odom's going to be called for a loose ball foul. That's going to be his third.
And that's a better play by C.J. Miles. He got in the fray, he blocked out Odom, and drew the loose ball foul. And Mike, just to go back to what you said about Millsap, if he's 6'8", I'm 6'2". That guy's 6'6". That's what's even more impressive about what he's been able to accomplish.
Harper guarded by Odom. Harper shot won't go. Rebound tipped. Took a funky bounce. Karolinko able to pick it up and misses the layup. But right there, Harper, they're going to wave it off. A loose ball foul. Call against Harper. Harper with 4 fouls.
And I like the decision by Jerry Sloan of playing Darren Williams the whole half. They lost too much in that first 3 minutes of the second quarter when he was out.
Vujicic to Luke Walton. Walton off the mark. Williams has 14 assists, but just 3 of 10 shooting. Karolinko open. That's a 2-pointer, and it's back to a dozen.
Anytime the Jazz get a stop on the defensive end, that's when they're at their best offensively. Pushing the ball, forget about sets. They feed off of getting stopped.
Vujicic will try it again. Walton, the offensive rebound. Lakers a very good offensive rebounding team, as we have a foul call. And considering that they're one of the best shooting teams in the NBA, it's even more impressive. Normally the teams that are the best offensive rebounding teams are poor shooting teams because they have so many more opportunities. Lakers 4th in shooting and 3rd in offensive rebounding. Walton, that's good. Kobe Bryant getting a rest. His team still up by 14.
And that was a soft defensive possession by Andre Karolinko. He's much more capable defensively than he showed just guarding Walton right there.
Williams to Harper. Harper inside pass, blocked by Odom. Karolinko gets it. Blocked by Gasol. Millsap able to get it. Good second and third effort after some strong defense from the Lakers. Block shots for LA. Gasol against Millsap and gets the bounce. 14 for Pau Gasol.
Well, really the size of Gasol, where basically Millsap's not playing a role defense. It doesn't bother him at all, so Gasol able to get where he wants.
And Darren Williams getting where he wants and draws the foul. This would be Williams just his second trip to the free throw line, as we'll have a timeout.
And if you're Millsap, what you have to do is do your work before the catch. Force him further out. Does not. It's just one dribble and then get to my spot. Gasol does a good job letting the traffic get out of the way, and then that's Pau Gasol at his best.
8.5 remaining, 4th quarter. Lakers still in control. Jazz trying to fight back. Tonight you'll have an answer to that cliffhanger. Desperate Housewives, all new, 9, 8 Central tonight. This afternoon on ABC, Lakers leading the Jazz 92-78. Phil Jackson was not happy late in the 3rd quarter after his team started to lose part of a 22-point lead.
Poor shot selection, you know, not taking shots when you should, all this stuff. They outscored us by 11 points this quarter. We're in a penalty situation, you know, 2:12 left to play. See if you can't redeem this quarter, get it somewhere back. Keep them under 30 points if possible.
Well, part of that resurgence was credited to Utah. They came out with a little more force in that 3rd quarter as Williams goes to the line. And of course, Jazz in the playoffs once again, but it's a little different this year, and saddened by Larry Miller, a longtime owner of the Utah Jazz. He passed away. Miller passed away on February 20th from type 2 diabetes. Such a presence not only with the Jazz, obviously, in the NBA, but throughout the Salt Lake community. It's just not the same without him. Walton picks it up after the deflection. Can't get it to go, and Boozer the rebound. Jazz hanging in there. Here's Williams, drives to the basket. Up, won't go. Kirilenko keeps it alive, does it again. Ball batted around. Everybody's fighting for it. Still loose, and Williams comes up with it.
And the Jazz historically have been a great offensive rebounding team, and it's really held their offense together here today.
Millsap misses the layup off a nice feed. And that's the type they can't afford to come away empty. Odom inside. Gasol. Lead back to 14. Jazz picking up the pace. Miles, smart job throwing it up at the hoop as he drew the foul on Shannon Brown.
We talked about the Laker bigs running the floor. Jamal Odom gets the rebound, pushes it ahead, cuts to the hoop, and then because Powell didn't just fall in love with transition offense, he got back. He's rewarded hitting the offensive board.
Miles to the free throw line. Miles knocks down the first. C.J. Miles in his 4th year, right from high school to the NBA. He wasn't even 2 years old when Jerry Sloan was named head coach of the Utah Jazz. He was a 2nd-round pick of the Jazz back in 2005. He was signed. Oklahoma City signed him to a restricted free agent offer sheet this past season, and the Jazz matched it. And they like this young man.
And think about it, they have 2 very big contributors that were 2nd-round draft choices. You've got to give Kevin O'Connor and the management there a lot of credit for finding C.J. Miles and Paul Millsap.
Gasol draws the foul. Go back to the free throw line for Pau Gasol. Boozer. That's 4 on Boozer. And Jeff, you kind of brought this up a little bit earlier. That you think Gasol, you could make a case that he deserves to be first-team All-NBA. For some reason, when you talk about the elite players, not just all-star players, but a step above that, and he's been an all-star, he's not mentioned. Does he deserve to be mentioned as an elite player?
I think so. I think coming here in this trade and going from the best player on your team to the 2nd best player on his team has brought out the best in him. He's not a forceful guy personality-wise, but playing with a forceful personality like Kobe Bryant, I think his skill set has come out, and this guy, to me, doesn't have to take a back seat to anybody in the front court this year.
I totally agree. When you talk about power forwards, the best in the game, he is in the discussion no matter who you're talking about.
Brown puts up another jumper. That one no good. Boozer the rebound. Just over 5 minutes gone by in the 4th. Oh, nice pass. Kirilenko. And Millsap with the finish. That's a pretty fast break.
Once again, it's off of getting stops, rebounding the ball, and pushing. If I'm the Jazz, okay, this is how we're going to win. It starts on the defensive end.
Powell left open. Well short, and he gets his own rebound and gets it to go. Millsap upset with himself as the long rebound went right back to Josh Powell.
But to me, that's a guard who has to come in and rebound the free throw line area. Darren Williams, C.J. Miles, Kirilenko have got to clean that up.
Williams draws another foul. And here's where Williams is at his best when he goes to the basket. He's so strong. Even though he gets hit, he always gets off a quality shot.
Here the Lakers defense, Pau Gasol does a poor job allowing Darren Williams to split the pick and roll. Therefore, it's a breakdown for your defense. Help is not able to get there, and Darren Williams creates the contact.
Williams, career high in scoring and assists. Only Chris Paul averaged more assists per game in the regular season than Darren Williams. He just led this beautiful fast break moments ago. And Millsap with the finish. Jerry Sloan was telling us that Williams all this week, because after that bad loss to the Lakers in their season finale, Williams really showed his leadership the past couple of days in practice, trying to get the guys going. He said he was more vocal, more enthusiastic, upbeat, trying to get this team, which perhaps lost a little confidence down the stretch, to get that swagger back. They had a 12-game winning streak in February and March. But have been erratic since. Gasol, shot won't go, ball tipped, and Boozer the rebound. We're midway through the fourth. Lakers by 12. Williams deflected by Ariza. And we'll have a timeout.
Well, Pau Gasol is very versatile. Can play center, can play power forward. He's just too big right here for Paul Millsap, shooting over him easily. And then he's got great hands, finishing on a second shot opportunity.
And Gasol, another strong game. The 18 points, 9 rebounds. He leads the Lakers in scoring as they're up by a dozen. Verizon Wireless Game Track will show us get a lot of help.
Well, it's all about the supporting cast. Those guys have stepped up. Trevor Ariza on the defensive end, and then also offensively. How about Shannon Brown, called on to play in front of Jordan Palmer? He's ready, locked, and loaded, knocking down shots. And then Lamar Odom on the offensive and defensive boards, and then offensively, he's been aggressive. All three guys have put their stamp on this game.
Ariza at both ends. Odom back coming off the bench now that Bynum's returned, and Shannon Brown, an unlikely player in the playoffs for the Los Angeles Lakers. Hardly played when he was first acquired by the Lakers from Charlotte. But hit some big shots early. Shot clock at 8. Karolinko puts up the 3. That's good. And that once again gets it to single digits. This is the closest they've been in the second half. LA led by 22 early in the third. And for Darren Williams, that's his 16th assist, a playoff career high. Kobe Bryant nails it. Boozer has quietly put together some big numbers, 25 points. Fisher on Williams. Millsap against Odom.
I'm Darren Williams. I'm playing pick and roll, isolating and making play. I don't need anybody else making a play.
Karolinko just reaching that time. They're not in the penalty yet. That'll be their 14th foul. 2 fouls on Karolinko. Game 2 of the series will be Tuesday, right back here at the Staples Center. And then it shifts to Utah, where the Jazz are a different team. Kobe Bryant, 2-pointer for Bryant. Couple of buckets and it's right back up to 13.
See, this makes no sense. You're talking about the best players in the world, and you have a guy that's basically out there toying with him. Picking his spots, okay, it's time for me to make a play offensively, and he does it.
Korver to Williams. That's a 3. Millsap the rebound. Trying to fight off both Odom and Bryant. Darren Williams just 3 of 12 from the field, but he has the 16 assists. And just 1 turnover. And he's tripped up. They call it against Gasol, and that's 5 on Gasol.
Kobe Bryant is saying, okay, they're closing the gap. Time for me to make a play. Andre Karolinko fights over the screen. No contest. It's just me and the rim, Bryant says, and he knocks it down. Back-to-back baskets by Bryant stops the bleeding.
And everyone talks about his athleticism, but right there, that's well-honed balance. That doesn't just happen. He's coming off, going to his left, going up in the air, straight up, straight down. I mean, this is textbook stuff that requires repetition in a gym.
I was going to say, how many times do you think he's done that in an empty gym late at night?
Everyone wants to play in the game. Who wants to prepare to win the game before the game is played? And that's Kobe Bryant.
102-91. Lakers by 11 as we come up on 4 minutes remaining. Good defense this time from Karolinko. Shot clock at 8. Karolinko with a steal. Andrei Karolinko kicks out a wild pass.
Come on.
Great defensive play and spoil it down the other end.
You're 6'11". Dunk on Kobe Bryant, or at least try to.
Well, you got to take it to his body. Worst case scenario, you're getting fouled and going to the line.
There's Gasol. And a foul before the shot doesn't matter in the act, and Boozer's picked up his 5th foul.
Oh, this is great. Andrei Karolinko has great length. Uses it to strip Bryant. Bryant's going to try to time it up. You got to go right at him.
Well, that's a soft play, especially Bryant trying to time it up. That's a perfect scenario for you to dunk it over.
Karolinko, a few years ago, was being talked about as one of the premier defenders in the entire NBA.
But this is a situation, like you said, solid defense, and then Bryant trying to time it up. Well, if I'm Andrei Karolinko, I said, that's perfect. I'll meet you at the rim. Careless play, careless play.
Gasol hits the second.
And I always thought Karolinko was much better as a defender off the ball than on the ball, where he could use his great length and anticipation.
Most of his block shots coming as a help defender. Korver. That won't go. Karolinko the rebound. Goes back up. Blocked by Gasol, but a foul. And there you go, right to prove your point, guys.
That's the difference. And Pau Gasol is a guy with size and length. But instead of trying to finesse, he attacks the body of Pau Gasol, looking to finish at the rim.
And he fouls out. That's his 6th. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 block shots, and a steal. 2 steals, that is.
Hey, Coach, you know at some point you have to make a grown man move. Forget about it. Karolinko this time does. It's not about how high he got up, but it wasn't a finesse play. He attacked the body of Gasol.
Right, and even if it gets blocked, go back and get it again. Keep making the right play. The Utah Jazz brought in their former great player, Jeff Hornacek, to work with Karolinko as Odom hits that shot, just to try to build that confidence back up that he has seemingly lost offensively over the past couple of years.
That was a beautiful move from Odom. He's striding across the lane. It's back up to 14. Boozer able to knock it down. The Jazz have been hanging around, but you just don't get the feeling they have any chance to win the game. Every time they cut it to 9, which has been a couple of times in the second half, Lakers answer right back. Bryant, little shake and bake. Karolinko the rebound. Darren Williams to the basket. Nice feed, and Millsap to finish. It's back to 10 with 2.5 remaining.
And it's like Mark said, every time they get a stop, get the ball in Williams' hands and push it. Whether it's a push and an attack or a transition pick and roll, they get a good shot.
There you see the 17 assists for Darren Williams. Ariza tied up, gets it to Bynum. Kobe Bryant for 3, and Boozer the rebound. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Jazz can't afford to come away empty. And that time Williams, just his second turnover, tried to force it in. Ariza to the basket, blocked by Korver, but a foul. And Trevor Ariza will go to the line as we have a timeout. The Lakers holding off all the Utah Jazz charges. They led by 22 at half. Jazz cut it to 9 a couple of times here in the fourth quarter. But with 1:58 remaining here in game 1, right now it's a 10-point lead.
NBA playoffs on ABC. Brought to you by the 2009 Cadillac CTS. Popeyes, welcome to Louisiana Fast. And Verizon Wireless. Get your head in the game right on your phone with sports clips, scores, stats, news, and more. Only on VCast from America's most entertaining network, Verizon Wireless.
Santa Monica Pier, and now the Staples Center. Lakers up by 10, just under 2 remaining here in game 1. Big playoff action tonight, a triple header on TNT. All game 1s, Philly at Orlando, Miami at Atlanta, New Orleans Kings at Denver. Tuesday on NBA TV, Game 2. Portland will try and even things up against Houston. And then a triple header of Game 3s Friday on ESPN and ESPN2. Already had some interesting results. Yesterday, 3 road teams were victorious. And right now, the Lakers trying to put it away. They've been dominant at home. And even though the Jazz, as we said, are kind of hanging around, you just don't get the feeling that they're going to get much closer.
Well, this is what happens a lot of times in the NBA. Go up big at halftime, a little bit of a letdown. Other team makes a run, but not enough to get over the hump.
Well, if I'm the Utah Jazz, one thing I realize, I'm going exclusive pick and roll. Darren Williams, the ball in his hands. They're getting quality shots.
Ariza, once again, terrific game. He's got 18 points. Ariza 1 for 2. Karolinko the rebound. Jazz need to push. Do they need to start shooting threes right now, Jeff?
Well, they certainly need to explore that. But again, I'm going to run all pick and rolls right here because you've got to get quick opportunities.
And a hold call on Odom. Odom's got to be careful. He already has 1 technical. Kind of waved his hand in disgust at the call. Gasol is done. Bynum will check back in. A little offense-defense substitutions for Phil Jackson.
And again, that's because centers have difficulty guarding Carlos Boozer in isolation situations. But you could play Bynum against Paul Millsap because he's not as mobile or attacking off the dribble.
Millsap 14 points and 8 rebounds. Rattles in the second. Once again, it's 9. Lakers will take as much time off the clock on each possession. Jazz still have a couple of timeouts remaining, a couple of 20s. Bryant gets inside. Oh, what a finish from Kobe Bryant! And a foul! Throws it down in the face of Paul Millsap.
My goodness. Switching the pick and roll, you allow him to turn the corner. Mama, there goes that man. Millsap gets posterized.
I don't know where he fouled him. Kobe Bryant to the chance of MVP will go to the free throw line. As the Lakers back up by 11. He won it last year. Most expect him to finish second this year in the voting. As the favorite's been LeBron James. 23 points and 7 assists for Kobe Bryant here this afternoon. Millsap with his 5th foul. Williams looking, gets Harper. Jump shot from Harper way off the mark. Bryant the rebound. And the Jazz have run out of time. The Lakers will take game 1 of this best-of-7 series. Continue their home court dominance. Crowd is chanting as Ariza hits a 3. Crowd is chanting, "We want tacos." If opponents go under 100, they get 3 tacos. Another one of those promotions. Ball deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Jazz, and they're starting to celebrate. Off the turnover, Boozer gets it. Williams, another turnover.
I think those promotions diminish the game. I really do. I don't think there's any need for people to be chanting after a great performance like this about tacos. Just give them free food here instead of charging them $12 for a hot dog.
Kobe Bryant inside, stripped by Boozer. Here comes Darren Williams. Williams inside. There go the tackles. I agree with you, Jeff. You're up by, if you're up by 15 and all of a sudden you're trying to either score a certain amount of points or defend, there's really no need for that. Good hustle from Harper. Williams misses a three. Bryant the rebound, and that'll do it. What a terrific performance from the Lakers. Harper shaking up, trying to dive. Typical Harper move. All-out hustle. But the Lakers take game one. They led by as many as 22. Jazz got back in the game, but they're able to take a 1-0 lead in the series.